Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Jeb Smith, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage here in Southern California. And today we're addressing the question of, can you sell your house for less than it's worth? So I just got off the phone maybe 10 minutes ago with a client, and this is the question they asked me: can I sell my house for less than it's worth? And it kind of stuck with me for a moment, so I thought I would do a video on it just to touch on a couple of things, because it's not a common question. It's not something that a lot of people ask, because most people want to sell their home for the most amount of money they can. Why would you sell it for less money than it's worth? So the answer to the question is yes, you can sell it for essentially whatever you want to sell the property for, but there's some things to keep in mind. You know, if you have a mortgage on the property, you've got to sell it for at least what you owe on the property, what you owe the lender. Because otherwise, if you sell it for less than what you owe the lender, then it's considered a short sale. And I'll link to what a short sale is here above. But, you know, essentially a short sale is when you're selling a property for less than you owe on the mortgage. And in which case you actually have to get lender approval, the bank's approval, in order to go through that process. So because we've been in such a, you know, an incline in the market for, say, the last 10 years, you know, there's a lot of appreciation in property. Most people bought for much less than they paid for it. So we really haven't been in a position where people have needed to sell a property for less than it's worth. And so you haven't seen a lot of short sales out there. But in the markets where, you know, you have, you know, a decline in market value, and cases where people have recently purchased or they've refinanced and taken cash out, and then they owe more or as much as they owe on the property when they go to sell it, essentially they're in a position where they may owe as much, if not more, on that property than it's worth, in which case that's when you would need to do a short sale. But, you know, other than that, if you want to sell your property for less than it's worth, that there aren't any really, you know, issues with that. It's not illegal. You know, you're welcome to sell the property value or the property for whatever you choose with regards to the purchase price. And we see this a lot when people are selling to family members or passing it along to, you know, to someone they may know. In some cases, they'll sell the property for you know, less money than they actually than they could sell it for on the open market. But other than that, you know, this isn't something that comes up very often, because most people want to maximize that price. And the reason it came up in the conversation earlier with my client is because she's competing with two other listings on her street, and she feels like because of the two other properties, because they're maybe a bit nicer than her property, she feels like, you know, she can't compete with them. So she's asking me, hey, can I actually sell my property for less money so that I don't have to essentially compete with those properties? And the answer was yes, but we also talked about some strategies that we could do to help her property compete in that market by, you know, doing certain fixes on them, and or our marketing strategy versus, say, their marketing strategy, in order to appeal to a different type of buyer to help her property stand out. So, you know, this video isn't about that, but to answer the question, yeah, you can sell your property for whatever you choose at any point, as long as you owe less on it than what you are trying to sell for. And keep in mind, you do have, you know, realtor commissions, closing costs, all of that's got to be equated into whatever it is you're trying to, you know, into the numbers there, so that you have final numbers on your property, what you owe, etc. And so as long as you're selling it for more than you owe on it, you can do whatever you want. So I hope that is helpful. If you do have additional questions about this topic, selling your property, a short sale, any of that stuff, do me a favor, comment below. I love seeing your feedback and would love to address your questions. And if you need something else, feel free to contact me directly. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. We'll see you again soon. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.